Achieving your goals is going to require that you deal with obstacles. Obstacles are almost always people. You're either for me or you're against me. That doesn't always mean that the person that's coming at you is trying to hurt you, but you have to understand that they can't see what you see because your vision is yours and yours alone. Robert Kiyosaki once said, "Sight is what you see with your eyes. Vision is what you see with your mind." This is an uncomfortable conversation because I'm asking you to do something that's probably going to be the most difficult thing you've ever done. But you're going to have to do it if you're going to become a millionaire, become successful, accomplish your dreams, be a monk. It doesn't matter. Money doesn't have anything to do with this. Achieving your goals is going to require that you deal with obstacles. Obstacles are almost always people. Now, in literature, they have man versus himself, man versus God, man versus nature, man versus alien, man versus you name it. There's themes that in literature where there's always man versus something else, right? There's an obstacle. So you have to identify, is the obstacle yourself? Is that the reason why you haven't accomplished the things that you want to accomplish in life? Are you lacking the skills? Are you not excellent enough to be able to serve people? Because whenever it comes to building wealth and prosperity, people are part of it. Don't cast your pearls before swine. The Bible warns us about wasting our time and energy on people who won't take action. Giving valuable knowledge to those who don't value it is like casting pearls in front of pigs. They can't recognize its worth. Making a public profession of what you intend to do with your life is like making a public profession of faith. It has to be done. It's part of the process because it engages others to make you accountable. Yes, your critics are there to test your mettle. They're there to find out if you're real or not. That's what the devil exists for. The devil isn't there to be your arch enemy. He's there to prove you. Functionally, he'll act like an enemy, but when you overcome him, you'll reach your achievement. In the movie The Matrix, a dedicated evil agent antagonist could turn into almost any person. Agent Smith was a devil archetype that could use other people as vessels to oppress the hero, Neo. He was but one program capable of massive reach because he could replicate himself, make copies, and embody others with his program or his spirit. This is called hacking in computer science vernacular. You simply cannot hide from Mr. Smith. He will show up when you show off your skills in the light of day. The painful part is he can hack almost anyone, even people you know closely and love dearly. You cannot become successful in secret. So people telling you to disappear for 6 months and then you're going to become a super successful person, they're talking about the skill sets that you need to develop, the things that you do in private. When I was learning to become an accomplished artist, I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours alone by myself with a canvas, with chalk or paint or a pencil, clay, hours and hours by myself. Now, the best experiences was whenever I was in a studio with other people and I could talk about my work and kind of share the journey. There were some times when you just didn't want people around. You needed to be alone and do the work. Now, the part of your life where you're going to start to show and demonstrate your excellence is a very public experience. Now, when you bring your skill set out into the public for all eyes to see, and people begin to criticize you, that's where we're going to find out whether or not you have the chutzpah, you have the strength and the internal fortitude, the intestinal fortitude to be able to deal with harsh criticism. Because you have to, like a blade of grass pushes through the earth, you have to push through and break away. Birds of a feather tend not to flock together. Is that the same? No. Birds of a feather flock together. That's the same, right? And that's because they eat the same things, they like the same kind of weather, they enjoy the same type of environments, and are part of the same type of ecosystems. So what happens in life is you grow up around people, family, friends, enemies, frenemies, people who they have all different types of outlooks. Some of your friends, they go home and whatever their parents are teaching them and the things that happen in their household, it shapes them. And then the places that they go and the things that they do when you're not around, it shapes them. And they may be friends with you just in certain environments. But then as life moves on, the things that were shaping them, it hones their appetites. And then they begin to create habits and behaviors that magnetize them and charge them. So they are attracted to like-minded people and like environments, similar environments. So this is all common sense, but see, what happens is it's not so common if you cannot recognize that and then take these necessary actions. Number one, you're going to have to cut off some people. Cut them off completely, because they're going to cut you off, actually. They're already cutting you off as you keep trying to grasp and hold on to these relationships. The kind of relationships I'm talking about are the ones that exhaust you. You have to put yourself around people where you're going to be celebrated and not tolerated. Okay? You have to do that. If you don't, you're going to be spending so much of your time that you should be putting into your craft and into your execution as you're building your brand. You won't be able to build your brand if you're so concerned about your family, your friends, your frenemies, and you're always talking to them and trying to get them to get on board with what you're trying to do. This is so important. Second, you're going to have to cut off bad habits. You have to, and you know what they are. If you're watching more content than you're creating, you're probably in a bad place. If you're trying to be part of the social media content creation community. And here's what I mean by that. You should be spending at least an hour or so creating content and editing it until you can afford to delegate the editing part. You should be spending more time creating things than you are consuming content. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not creating content, meaning your craft and documenting it, because this is all this is. Content creation largely is documentation. Sometimes it's verbal and sometimes it's visual, right? People want to see receipts at some point. Okay, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that you should just eliminate people out of your life and never deal with them anymore. What I'm saying is, if you're like me, you want to bring people who you love and care about into your world, and you're trying to, level them up while you're leveling up. And you should stop that. That's none of your business. Enjoy them, spend time with them, do fun things with them. But when it's time for you to be on your purpose, they need to go. It's just as simple as that. You need to stop trying to talk them into being a part of what you're trying to do. It's not their journey. It's not their path. There's a community out here where you can find other people. And that's the whole point of the internet and social media when it's used the right way. You're able to find like-minded people so you could be in an environment that's supportive, even if it's virtual. Because virtual relationships eventually become physical. I met my last wife online. It went from virtual to physical, okay? Experience these people outside of your purpose. But whenever you're on your purpose, you need to be focused. And you need all the obstacles out of the way. Obstacles don't merge into you. You have to move over the obstacle, under the obstacle, around the obstacle, or through the obstacle, but the obstacles must be dealt with. Hi, I'm MARRETA, founder of MARRETA Marketing. At MARRETA Marketing, we help teachers to create and market their own niche brand products and services online. With decades of experience in education, design, and e-commerce, I empower teachers to take their passions and turn them into profitable 6- and 7-figure businesses, creating financial freedom for life. Join our School of Sharks community at MARRETAmarketing.com. See you on the other side.